We will now go on to a new topic, non-deterministic push-down automata. You even write it as NPDA. All what we saw till now was deterministic push-down automata, or deterministic push-down automata, you simply say it to be push-down automata. Now we will see what do you mean by non-deterministic push-down automata, or NPDA. So this NPDA, or non-deterministic push-down automata, it is used to generate a language which the normal deterministic push-down automata has a difficulty in generating. And of course, it is considered to be more powerful than a deterministic push-down automata. So when you compare between an NPDA and a normal PDA, NPDA is considered to be more powerful simply because the things which you cannot generate in PDA, you can be generating in an NPDA. And just like the normal finite, normal non-deterministic finite automata, you will have more than one state transition which can happen for a given. So first let's see how we can construct a non-deterministic push-down automata for a palindrome. As you all know, palindrome will take the pattern word followed by transpose of a word. Now imagine you have a word called AB. The transpose of the word would be BA. And then you concatenate together, you say it is a palindrome. We'll take another string. Let's imagine you have a word like AABE. Okay? And you reverse it, it will be ABAA. So both these, they are palindromes because they take the pattern word followed by word transpose. So this is the word and this is the word transpose. Here this is the word and this is the transpose of the word. Now we know that you cannot do this with a finite automata because you need to remember the word. You need to store the word, then only you can get the transpose of the word. Now, how can an automata find out whether a given string is a palindrome or not? Now, the simplest logic for that is check whether matching happens. Check whether a match occurs. Okay. So, I'll start from left to right. Now, look here. This is a match. BB is a match. Now I can assume that when the match happens, I have reached the center. When the match occurs, the center of the string has reached. So all what I want to do is now, check the first half and check the second half. Okay. So I assume when I have a match, look here, I have a match BB. I assume that the center has reached, which means, start popping out from your stack. So when you feel that the center has reached, then no more push into your stack. Start popping out from the stack, and then you can check the validity of the string. Now that is only one case. Now look here, this particular string, see, this is also a match. Okay, look here, you have a match called AA, you have another match called AA, and then you even have a third match called AA. But interestingly, even though the match occurs, center has not reached. So if you have a match, you can have two cases. Either the center has reached or the center has not reached. Now, if you have a match and it is not the center, continue going on until you reach a match, which is the center. As I told you earlier, once you reach the center, then start popping off. So this is the basic logic which works for a palindrome. You check whether a match happens. There are two cases. If a match happens, either the center has reached or the center has not reached. If the center has reached, start popping off. If the center has not reached, continue your normal operations, go on pushing. So, you can understand from here itself, it is non-deterministic. For a particular case, you will have two possible outcomes. So this is the basic logic between how you do a NPDA for a palindrome. Now let's see how we can draw it. I'll just delete off everything. And now let's see how we can draw our NPDA for a palindrome. Okay, now we'll start with Q0. Okay, now I'll have a string called, let's say, AB, BA. This is, when the center has reached, it is a match. Sorry, when a match happens, the center has reached. I'll even have another string, AA, BA, ABAA. When you have a match, the center has not reached. Okay, now, so initially we will have a stack. You go on pushing your A's and B's. Okay, so we'll start from here. It ends up with epsilon as usual. Okay, so the first thing what we do is you might encounter an A. So let's see, if you encounter an A and if your top of the stack is Z0, you put in A into your stack. When you encounter an A, push it into your stack. Now, you can even have a stack like this, B, A, B. This is also a case. Like, in the beginning of the stack, in the beginning of the string, you can have a B. Okay, so in case you're having a B in the beginning, push B into your stack. So if you're getting A in the beginning, push it onto the stack. Even if you're getting B in the beginning, push it onto the stack. Now, you might again encounter one more A. You might again encounter one more A. Let's say you encounter an A and the top of the stack is B. You are encountering an A and the top of the stack is B. Very simple. Push A into the stack. You already have B over there. Okay. The reverse case. Imagine you encounter a B and the top of the stack is A. Push B into the stack. You already have A on top. These are the normal operations. Initially, you might encounter an A. Initially, you might encounter a B. Okay. After encountering a B, you might have an A. After encountering an A, you can have a B. Now comes the next case. Okay. Imagine you are encountering an A and the top of the stack is A. This case, imagine you are encountering an A and the top of the stack is A. It means you have a match. Okay, you have a match, but mind you, the match is not the center. This particular case, you have a match, but the match is not the center. Because the match is not the center, push it onto your stack. because the match is not the center, you push it onto the stack. So this is like, match has happened, but not the center. Okay, the same way you might encounter a B. The top of the stack might be a B. Okay, but you have a match, it is not the center, so push it onto the stack. The same case, you have a match, but it is not the center, so push it onto your stack. As I told you earlier, if you have a match, and if it is not the center, go on, continue. If you have a match, and if it is the center, then you will have to pop it up. We will look into that case. Okay, look here. You encounter an A, top of the stack is A. You encounter an A, the top of the stack is A. Match happened. Imagine it is the center. Okay, imagine it is the center. If it is the center, what should you start doing? You should start popping. Okay, so there is a match and it is the center, means you have reached half of the word. You have reached half of the word. The word and the transpose word, you are starting to match it. So pop it out. That is for A. Now the same way, imagine you encountered a B. The top of the stack is B, which means it is a match. It is the center also. You will pop it out. Okay, so this is also match center. Okay, so you will be reaching onto a state called Q1. So the same way you might be encountering many of these cases. Another A with a top. So this can happen again. This can also happen again. It can go on happening. And then at the end of the day, you will reach the end of the stack. You will reach, let's say, epsilon. So the moment you reach epsilon and the top of the stack is Z0, you will reach the final stack state. You will reach your final state Q2. Okay, now look here very carefully. Now, why do you say that this is an NPDA? Now look here. This particular case, you encounter an A and the top of the stack is A. Here you are pushing. You are doing an operation called pushing. You have the same state over here also. You have A encountered. You have the top of the stack A, but here you are doing popping. Okay, so look here. This particular case, you have AA, you are pushing, and then you are going back to a state called Q0. But here you have AA, you are popping, and you are going to a state called Q1. So for this particular state, this particular input, you are going into two states called Q0, Q1. This is non-determinism. For the same input, you are going into two states. Okay, here also you have the same thing. You encounter a B, top of the stack is B. Here you are pushing, and it is match, not center. Here you have B, here you have B, here you are popping. Okay, so when you have the input BB, you are going to a state called Q0. You are even going to a state called Q1. So for the same input, you have a chance that center has reached, center has not reached. This is called non-determinism. You are not very sure where you will go, either to Q0 or to Q1. Now you might have a doubt. Look here, A, Z0. Okay, A. So in push-down automata, when you think of the input, you not only think only about the input, you even think about the top of the stack. So this is actually different, completely different. This is different. This is completely different. This is AZ0. This is AB. But you know, when you go for finite automata, you just have a single input, A. Here you will be having two inputs. One will be the input, and then one will be even the top of the stack. Okay, I've got two inputs. So this is how you construct a NPDA for a palindrome. We'll go for our next NPDA. It is a union. Interestingly, it is a union between two languages, L1 and L2. Okay, so you know, you can have a string like this, AB, and together with that, you can even have ABB. Okay, this is possible. Both these are possible. Okay, earlier we saw only one type. Now, what they're planning to do is, you can have either A raised to N, B raised to N, and you can even have A raised to N, B raised to 2N. Okay, so let's think about the stack. Let us think in terms of the stack. Now, as you know, when it is A raised to N, B raised to N, you just put in a single A. When it is A raised to N, B raised to N, you just put in a single A into the stack when you encounter an A. We even saw that when it is A raised to N, B raised to N, when you encounter an A, you will be putting double A into the stack. Then only each of your B's can be satisfied. So now here is the determinism. When you encounter an A, should you push one A into the stack, or should you push two A's into the stack? You're having a doubt. Okay, you can either push one A, because you know, when you push one A, all these will be satisfied. When you push two A's, all this will be satisfied. Okay, the same way like we had a palindrome. When you have a match, center might have come, center might not have come. So this is the non-determinism which you have in this particular question. Now, the easiest way to construct this is, let us first construct the normal PDA for A raised to N, B raised to N, and then we will even construct the normal PDA for A raised to N, B raised to N. So this is how you construct NPDAs when you have these union kind of questions coming up. So let's try doing it. So first what we will do is we will construct for A raised to N, B raised to N. Okay, so I have a state. I'll not go for my excellent state, I'll just go for the other states. Okay, imagine I have an A encountering, and then I have a Z0. I will be putting in A into my stack. Imagine I have a B encountered, and then my empty stack, I will be putting in B0. Okay, so now first I'm constructing for simply A raised to AB, AA, B. Okay, these kind of strings. Okay, so the first one is an A. Sorry. Okay, so initially it should be A, it can't be a B in the beginning. Okay, so if I have my first A, I am putting it. Now I might encounter a second A. If I encounter a second A and the top of the stack is A, I push that also into my stack. So I finished all the business with my A's. Now I might encounter a B, not I might, I should encounter a B. The moment I encounter a B and the top of the stack is A, I pop it out. I pop it out. Okay, match. Match happens. I might encounter more B's. I might encounter more B's. I might encounter more B's. the top of my stack is A. I will pop it out. At the end, I might encounter an epsilon. Okay, I'll have an epsilon at the end. The top of the stack is Z0. I leave it as it is. Okay, I am purposefully not writing states over here. Why? You will find it later. Okay, so now I've constructed a normal PDA for A raised to N, B raised to N. Now what I'll do is, I will construct a PDA for the next one, A raised to N, B raised to 2N. Okay, so A raised to N, B raised to 2N means I can have A, B, B, A, A, B, 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 B. A raised to N, B raised to 2N. So as we saw earlier, whenever you encounter an A, push in 2 A's onto the stack. So that, you know, for each B, you can do a matching. So let's draw the diagram for that. Okay, so I'll have an initial state. I am encountering my first A. I'm encountering my first A. A, Z0, just a minute. So we'll continue. I am encountering my first A. Okay, I'm encountering my first A. The top of the stack is Z0. As we saw earlier, you do not push a single A. Instead, you will be pushing in a double A. You will be pushing in a double A. You might encounter even a second A. First A, okay. Now you might encounter a second A. The top of the stack would be an A. You will be pushing in double A into the stack. You will be pushing in double A into the stack, and the previous top of the stack would have been A's. Okay, so you're done with all your A's. How many ever A's you have, you are pushing in those A's into the stack. Now next, you will encounter a B. Whenever you encounter a B, the top of the stack obviously would be A, because you know the first B you encounter, the top of the stack will always be an A. Very simple, pop it out. You will pop it out. So after the first B, you might encounter many B's. So for all the B's, do the same thing. For all the B's, you will have a matching top of the stack A, pop it out. At the end of the day, you will be reaching epsilon. The top of the stack would be Z0. Leave it as it is. You will be reaching a final state. Okay, so you have even done for A raised to N, B raised to 2N. You have done for A raised to N, B raised to N, and even for A raised to N, B raised to 2N. Now the problem comes of NPDA. As I told you earlier, when you encounter an A, you have a doubt. Initially, when you have an A, you have a doubt whether you should follow pushing in 1A. This diagram is for pushing in 1A. And this diagram is for pushing in double A's. Okay, so when you encounter A, you are having a doubt. Should you push in 1A or should you push in 2A? Because you know this is a union language, both are very much possible. Okay, so now we will take care of this particular case. When you encounter an A, should you push in a single A or should you push in a double A? So you know, I'll go for my initial state Q0. Okay, so when I encounter an A and the top of the stack is Z0, my initial state. Okay, I will push in A0 and I will go into the state. So, you can delete off this over here because it is repeat. So, this particular instance, what you do is you encounter an A, you push in only a single A into the stack, and then you follow this particular sequence. Okay. Another case which you can do is you encounter an A initially, you can push in double A into the stack. You can push in double A into the stack. I'm deleting this off because that is the repetition, and then you follow this particular sequence. So initially you can decide. This is a non-determinism. Either you can go for this, push in 1A and then go for that PDA, or insert 2 A's into your stack and go for this particular PDA. Now I will number my states: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. This is why I didn't number it earlier. This isn't a problem. Even the numbering can be anyway. So no, I just numbered it at the end so that the sequence comes out well. So this is how you construct NPDA for languages where you have a union and you have a doubt like whether you should go for pushing in 1A or you can go for pushing in 2 A's.